శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః. అందరికీ నమస్కారం. In this video, let us examine what is infinite. The sages have said that the consciousness which fills and pervades the whole universe, like clay in the things made of clay, like gold in the things made of gold, like iron in the things made of iron, is called infinite. So the consciousness is not confined to bodies only. There are differences in the appearance and forms of bodies, but the consciousness inside all of them is only one. So how to realize this unity or oneness of the pure consciousness? Only through inward journey it is possible. The outside journey leads us to diversity, whereas the inward journey leads us to unity of universal consciousness, and also connects us to the universal consciousness. In fact, we are the products of that divine, cosmic, and universal consciousness. So, how to realize this consciousness and be one with it? Like enlightened people. In this connection, there is one great thinker and scientist, and his name is Hasselhoff in Germany. So his principle was that conversion of one object into another is not possible and also impossible in the universe. And he has spent a lot of time in this pursuit only. And when he was on this verge of conclusion, a man, a visitor, came to him and met in his office one day in the early morning. He asked the scientist, "Your principle is that it is not possible to convert one object into another, isn't it?" Then scientist said, "Yes, it is impossible." And then that strange visitor has put a small box on the table of the scientist. He asked him to open it and touch the stone inside, which is capable of turning iron into gold. The scientist felt that it is strange and it's a magic he want to exhibit, and asked him to come the next day so that he could arrange some experts as witnesses to the act going to be performed by the strange visitor. But the strange visitor insisted Hasselhoff to touch the stone and scratch it for himself. The scientist touched the stone, scratched it, and in the process, some particles of the stone, that stone, were in his nails. The strange visitor thereafter left the scientist and he never turned back. The scientist then touched one atom of iron to examine the version of the strange visitor. Surprisingly, that piece of iron with the contact of the particles embedded in the nails of the scientist has turned into gold. Hasselhoff was surprised and he told his colleagues. They all laughed and felt that the scientist has gone mad. So the point is, at a later date, the science has come to the conclusion that the basic stuff of the universe is only one, and one object can be changed into another by separation of the electrons. For example, if there are two elements, one is made of 101 electrons, protons and neurons, and the other element consists of 100 electrons, protons and neurons. By separating one electron from that 101 electrons, this object or this element also can be converted into the same object. So, consisting of 100 electrons. So, the base metal can be converted into some other metal by this process. But the science has not evolved any technique so far of converting iron into gold, as that process is very costly and more than of the gold. So that's a different matter. But they have come to the conclusion that the matter consists of energy, and the energy can be converted into matter, and matter can be converted into energy. So this is the conclusion of the science. Similarly, so alchemy is possible. That's what the scientific research has come to that point. Similarly, in to realize this oneness in the human consciousness, it is possible through inward journey. The inward journey leads us to unity and oneness, whereas the outer journey leads us to diversity and multiplicity. So, when a human being dissolves his ego, his personality, through inward journey, then he can be one with the universal and cosmic consciousness and become a light of pure wisdom, because of his proximity with those higher dimensions. It is like this. An iceberg is there in an ocean. The iceberg is entirely acquires a new form and appears to be quite different from the waters of the ocean. It floats in the waters of the ocean. When the iceberg melts away, it loses its form and merges into the waters of the ocean. So, the iceberg is a product of the ocean and consists of water only. When it dissolves, it again merges into the waters of the ocean only. So, that melting process made this possible. That melting process has become possible because of the sunlight. Similarly, our personality, when it melts away, what is personality? Personality is nothing but ego. So, in the melting process, when the ego is dissolved, when the personality is dissolved, then what remains is only pure consciousness. And that pure consciousness realizes or awakens to its source of creation, and that is the divinity, that is the existence, that is Brahman. So, that consciousness is eternal and